Hello and welcome. My name is Miriam and I'm a family therapist, and in my work with children and with families, I often see that food becomes a needless source of stress and tension, and instead of us enjoying eating together and relaxing when we eat, we get conflict and anger and frustration. So in this video, I'm going to concentrate on a particular aspect of it, and this is about parents who encourage, ask, require, tempt their children to eat more than their children wish to eat. I'm going to explain why I think it's a problem, why we do it, and what we could do instead. This video is addressed at families where children do not have medical problems around food. If this is your situation, you need to work closely with your health practitioner. But for lots of other families, this, I believe, can be really helpful. So what's the problem about encouraging children to eat more? The problem is that we have a natural tendency to balance our food intake. And when we encourage children to override this instinct by requiring them or tempting them, even with a little child with an airplane, just eat more than they need to eat. They don't really learn to connect their body sensations with being hungry and being satisfied, and that can create lots of problems later in life, where children just don't know when to stop eating. But also it can create a lot of conflict in a family right now when children feel that they're being controlled and forced to do things that are not right for them. So that's not great. So why do we do it, and why do so many of us are tempted to do this? And I've identified three main reasons. The first one is that we're just really worried that our children are not getting enough nutrients, and they're not getting enough food, and they're not going to grow enough and be healthy. The second is that with some children, we know that if they are not eating, they don't eat enough, they become hungry later when food may not be available, and they may irritate us, get annoyed, it's hard for them to concentrate, say at school, if they don't have their breakfast, and we're worried about that. And the third reason is that we put a lot of time, a lot of thought, effort, money into feeding our family, and we put a lot of our need to care and love our children into preparing food for them. And when children just don't want to eat our food, we feel personally rejected. We feel that they reject our care and our love, not just our food. So first I'm going to talk about these three main reasons, and then I'm going to give some more suggestions for you. So regarding the first point about children not eating enough, research shows that lots of parents overestimate how much food children need. So we believe that they need much more than they do, and then we get frustrated when they don't want it. So it's just our mistake. We overestimate what they need. They don't need so much. Our second concern about children going hungry. I really believe in children learning from the natural consequences of their actions. So if your child goes to school with half their breakfast or even no breakfast and they feel hungry, this is actually quite good. It's their way to learn from their body that they need to eat more in the morning, even though they don't feel that hungry in the morning. They will learn from experience if you leave them to learn from experience. And what children also do is they compensate for it on the next meal. So if they haven't had enough in the morning, they're probably going to eat a little bit more in the afternoon and evening and compensate for it. So no need to worry. If you know your child and say it's a weekend day and you're going somewhere, they don't want to eat, and you know that they will become irritable later, maybe you can also pack a few unexciting and healthy snacks, such as a banana or some nuts that you can give to them if they feel hungry. That's for the younger ones. For the older ones, you don't really need to do that. They will probably learn. The third concern that I've mentioned is about us sometimes possibly feeling rejected when children don't want to eat the food that we prepare for them. So you want to observe your children and see what's actually going on. Sometimes it's got nothing to do with our love or care. The body just tells them they're not hungry, and we need to respect that. But on some family, we do get ourselves into this cycle, because if your child's clicked that you get upset when they don't eat, and that they can get a lot of attention from you if they don't eat, and that is the way of getting the care and attention that they need, then you're going to get into this cycle that's not going to be healthy. And you want to see how you can give this care, how you can give this attention for things that are other than food. So give them attention for something else. See if something's worrying them and talk about it. Don't ignore it and just dismiss it, but also don't go into this cycle of, oh dear, they're not eating, what's happening here, they don't love me, I don't love them, they're stressed, they're not going to grow, and all that. That really doesn't need to be there. So some practical steps for you, but before that, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, press the bell, and share on your social media so that other parents can benefit too. And so if I had to give a title for all my suggestions, it would be do less and chill. So the first suggestion is just to make very simple food, not put too much effort into preparing it, make it healthy, not too much sugar, and relax. My second suggestion is to give children full control over the portions on their plate. So if you are the one who's serving them, just ask them how much they want and put whatever they want on their plate and nothing more. This will give them a sense of control and will take away, in my experience, much of the conflict and argument around food. Third suggestion is get them into the kitchen, get them to help you make the food, serve the food, prepare the food. The more they are part of it, the less it becomes a you and us kind of battle. And the more effort they put into making the food, the more likely they are to eat it. Suggestion number 4 is to avoid comments about what other people are eating and how much they are eating and how much your child is eating. So just express your enjoyment of the food if you want to, say what's delicious and talk about other things, and just don't comment about it. Let your child eat as much or as little as he pleases. My fifth suggestion is about having pleasant, funny, positive conversations around the dinner table. That's not the time to raise problems and talk about upsetting issues. Just have fun, enjoy each other, chat to each other, be interested in each other. Make this mealtime a pleasant time. And my sixth suggestion is whenever there's conflict or tension, you want to ask yourself, is this about food? Is it about something else? Is it about my emotions, my frustration, my feeling of being rejected? And if that's the point, put your emotions aside. If your child's bothered about something, just ask them and tend to it, but separate food from other emotional issues. So this is it from me. Thank you very much. I hope you've learned something. If so, please give this video a like, share and subscribe. Enjoy your children. Thank you very much.